Hello and welcome to Pest Perspectives, episode 39. Pest Perspectives is about trying to educate and entertain at the same time. We have guests from all over the industry. I try and get every facet on. If there's somebody you want to see or a sector you want me to try and get somebody on or recommendations, please let me know. But this week I have on Kimberly Canberra from Urban Canine Pest and Wildlife Solutions. How are you doing?
Hey, I am fine, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I am.
Thank you so much for having me on.
No, it's good. I've been see you on Wyatt's podcast, the Swarmcast. Shout outs to them. I will get on there one day. He keeps mentioning getting me on, but he hasn't yet. But I will get on there one day.
Oh, you'll love Wyatt. He's amazing. The Swarmcast is wonderful. It was just a fun interview. So you'll have fun with him.
Yeah, if I ever get on Wyatt.
Come on, Wyatt.
No, I will one day. He's a busy man. But yeah, no, so obviously this is like a learning podcast, it is. And I thought you do canine, you do a lot of work with dogs, ratting, and you know your stuff. So I thought I'll ask you to come on. So how did you get to where you are now? Did you come from the pest control industry beforehand?
No, and I'll tell you what, I wish I knew more about the pest control industry 30 years ago. This would have been my career. I absolutely love it. I started in the animal world and I started in the zoo world training animals. I've trained everything from rats to do tricks on up to birds of prey. I did a lot of free flying bird shows, and I have banded birds all over the world, birds of prey, and I'm a falconer, and I landed at FEMA. Yeah, so I spent about 9 years with FEMA deploying all over the U.S. with natural disasters from floods to hurricanes to.
Are they a charity, FEMA?
FEMA is the federal organization, and so FEMA has to be invited into the states. So when there's a natural disaster, like some of the really bad ones we've had recently, the state will have FEMA come in and help. So yeah, all types of heavy equipment. And I ran cadaver dogs and I ran live fine dogs. And when I retired from there, I lasted 6 whole months of sitting on my butt, and I was bored to death, and so were my dogs. Yeah. So we started doing bed bugs. I couldn't get anybody to talk to me about rodents, and that's where I wanted to land. Well, I was watching people like Stuart Blair, David Bird, some of the ratting groups like the Suffolk and Norfolk ratting organization. And I was in love with what they were doing. UK boys have got it going on over there, let me tell you. So I said I started working for pest companies. So our bed bug work is about 60% pest control company driven, and the rest goes through us private. And I said to my salesman, next year I'm going to have a rodent program. And she spun around and said, I need it in 3 weeks. Well, not only did we do that in 3 weeks, that little dog was so amazing. He found the burrow that went under the restaurant, into the French drain, into the pipe that they didn't know existed. And they were using that as the run through the restaurant. And then he found it inside the restaurant, the wall that had the issue. And I was hooked. I was hooked on rodents. So our rodent program is 100% pest control driven.
Okay. So obviously you say that the dog found it, yeah?
I say what?
You say the dog found the burrows, yeah? Mm-hmm. So how do you know that there was pipes? Did you have a camera on the dog, or did you go under yourself? Or
no, we didn't. He literally disappeared. It was a little tiny Patterdale, and he had a little tail up there, just a wagon. So we knew there was something, and you could kind of smell rats at that time. I was so green when this happened. So when we got him out, I reported it, we marked it, and they eventually had a plumber come in and run a plumbing camera through there.
Oh, okay.
He found the hole that the rats had chewed into.
Okay.
And then 3 months later, they cut into the wall that he hit on. He was just digging at that wall like crazy. And when they dug into it, they found, I mean, there were so much rat fecal in there, and the odor was terrible, and live rats everywhere, and it went right into that pipe. Once they excluded that, and then they fumigated it, it was over. So that got me hooked. Yeah.
That's good. That is. It's a good way in, because obviously, how old were you when you found that? Because I didn't get into pest control because I'm 40 now. I'm no good at maths, so I started in about 2020. But like, I wish I found it, like you said. I wish I found it when I was younger, because I really like pest control. I do.
Oh, I am in love with it. I'm 63 years old, and I am dumpster diving into these dumpsters, and my husband reminds me every time we go out. He's retired, and I'm like, "You said you wanted to travel." He's like, "Well,
Well, you
not
do.
yeah." He's like, "Not in a dumpster catching rats." I was like, "You should have been more specific," and we did it together. So that's
Yeah, he's on the thumb now. Did you show him that?
Yeah. Was he on the phone?
Yeah, because you sent me, like, honestly, I forget, right? I normally get, someone says to me, I say, send us some pictures you want on the thumbnail and logo. I'll tell you, people, I have never had somebody who sends me an entire photo gallery to choose from. Obviously, I've got a thing about, I wasn't going to pick the ones with rats in that were dead. I've got a thing about posting dead animals on my podcast. I don't actually like it, but obviously I do understand that that's the work everyone does. I do it too, but I just don't like to put it on the podcast or my company's socials. But everyone is entitled to do you put dead animals on your socials as well to get work, or did you not do that?
I think there's I think there's a mixed feelings towards that. One of our issues is the clients always want a head count.
Oh, right.
They always want a head count. And so we really struggled with that. We used to just tell them, well, we killed 327 rats today. And that wasn't good enough. They wanted to see them. So that we don't always line them up, because I don't necessarily want all the kids driving by on their bicycle to see them, or the residents living there. They don't need to know how bad the infestation is. So sometimes we'll just put them in a Home Depot bucket, a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
When you see 7 buckets full with rats, that's also a statement. That's a statement. 5-gallon buckets. So, and Sean, I think the reason why we've gotten successful is I don't come from the pest control world. I come from the animal training world and from wildlife. So I grew up with a sportsman family. And one of the biggest things that my daddy just instilled in us is observation. And if you think about a sportsman, they observe, they stalk, they know the runways of the animal that they want. They know the feeding habits, what time they're moving. They know everything about that animal before they harvest it. So we took observation and we put it into the program, and that's when our program changed. That's when we started getting mass killing, and if for lack of a better word. And not long ago, it was early, maybe January, we had 675 rats in the first day.
Wow.
It hit me. I said, "Oh my God, these are all males." It was 87% males.
Wow. Serious.
It was my aha moment that we're not finding the satellite colonies. We're not finding the maternal protection colonies. And that is finding it, when you're 675 and 87% of males, that colony had reached high capacity. So that just told me that we needed to dig in deeper. We needed to spend 2 days observing. We needed to know everything about that colony before we laid a hand on it. What time are they moving? Where are they moving? Where are their runways? What concrete slabs are they running under? Because what happens is when you start putting pressure on them, as you know, as the pest control world knows, they can disperse and you can force them into a forced migration and you're going to miss them. So we started observing for the 2 days, collecting all that data, and then just hit them with everything we had for the next 3 to 4 to 5 days. And we can take a colony down by doing this technique, 7 to 10 days. You will still have rats because you can't eradicate a rat, but you'll still have them, but they'll be undetectable. So the client's very happy. They look at their pest company as the heroes because that's our job. We're partnering with these pest companies to try to stop the client bounce. We want the clients to stay with the pest company, not go to the next pest company and have the same thing happen. So if we can keep them from bouncing to the next pest company, then we go back for 2 visits, 2 monthly visits, twice. Yeah, and by that second one, there's no burrows opened up anymore. Have they moved? Have they migrated somewhere else? Have they fissioned? Maybe, but time will tell if we start seeing them. We have a place in Atlanta, Georgia. It's been 3 months now and they're not seeing rats yet. Now, when we go into the dumpster, we're seeing footprints. We're seeing 1 rat run. So there are rats still there, but they're not seeing them yet.
Okay.
So we can just lower that colony so quick.
I'll be honest, it's really impressive. And when you mentioned you go in and do 2 days of surveying, wait a minute. So I just got to check something. That's correct. When you go in, you mentioned. So I'm guessing that you charge a higher fee than a normal pest control company because you've got to get paid for them days where you're surveying, then doing the work. So I'd imagine that to do it the dog way, the rat. Is it canine way you call it over there? Is it ratting? What's the term for it you use?
So we call them rodent dogs or canine rodent dogs.
Okay.
Over here, we have to certify them. So our rodent dogs are certified through 2 organizations, NASDECA, which is a leading national organization here, and CPDA, which is another leading organization. So that just helps with our insurance, tells people our dogs know the odor. I don't know. I mean, they kill rats. So do we charge? And I'm glad you asked that. We do charge, but we're a free service to the pest company that wants to use us because they're going to pass that charge on to their client and they're going to do a markup. So they're making money, they're keeping their client, and these are all commercial clients. And the rodents are leaving quickly. We'll go, say we're doing an apartment complex. The first day we visit every single building and we're looking for ingress to the rats. Where have they gotten into that building? Because that's not something we can take care of. That's something pest control has to. But we're telling them where that information's at. You know. Do
you find? I don't know if a dog could do this, so I'm asking. It might sound stupid. Do you ever put them in the drain area? Can a dog going down drains or not? Can it go near a drain area if there's an obvious? Because a lot of rat. Well, they do in England. A lot of rat jobs stem from drain faults. They do. Not all of them, but.
I would never put my dog in a drain because the Lord knows where he would end up chasing rats. But
that's true.
When we walk them around those areas, they're going nuts because that odor's coming up. There's a backdraft. That odor's coming up and they go crazy. We recently were in an area that they were going crazy right there at the drain, you know, the runoff water drain that off the road.
The
apartment complex tore that up. And there were burrows galore under there. So we used what was called a burrow RX, and we basically gassed them underground and killed them underground. So
what's that then? What is it? Is it a gas or is it that ice, water ice? No.
Well, it's the same thing as dry ice. So you can use dry ice. A lot of countries can still use dry ice. Here in the United States, they've turned it into rat ice, and it has a label on it now.
Okay.
We can't purchase that in the South yet. It's coming, but we can't get that here. But we can use what's called a Burrow RX. It's a lawnmower, a little tiny lawnmower machine, and
Okay.
it puts it's carbon monoxide, right? Yeah, carbon monoxide into the hole and
Okay.
fumigates it. So we can kill underground and we can kill above ground. And the first thing we do when we get that machine out, the dogs aren't out. I don't want the dogs around that gas.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah. So we'll put oil in that machine and it'll turn into smoke when we turn it on, and we can put that into the burrows and we can see where the burrows are running, where burrow A is running to burrow B. We can start closing down burrows, so we're only giving them a few places to come out. And then we pay attention, we flag all the burrows because we want to know what's opening up and what's not. We flag the nursery burrows. So when you get a 2-week-old pup that comes up, that's going to be a nest. So we're going to flag that. So we flag all these things and we watch them over months to make sure they're not opening back up again. What we don't charge for, we've got a lot of farms here and we don't charge them. We look at them as we want to give back to our farmers. They're the backbone of this country. And we give back to them, and we'll go out there and we'll work for free, and just it gives our dogs some fun and practice, and we get young pups coming along. So we don't charge for everything.
Okay, that's that. Adam's just put. Is it this gas? Do you see it on screen?
I cannot.
What?
It hasn't popped.
Wait a minute. I don't know how you say it. Foxding gas. I'm probably saying it wrong.
So you go ahead, say that again.
I'm probably saying it wrong. It's phosphine gas. I probably said it completely wrong.
It's carbon monoxide. It's just like turning your car engine on. You know, you could stick a box up on your tailpipe. It's the same thing, and just puts them to sleep. Very quick, very humane. And then, of course, a lot of rats are running, so the dogs are catching rats. We're killing underground. The dogs are catching rats, and we're catching rats. We learned to catch rats because the first apartment we went to, a complex, as we pulled in, they said you can't use the dogs. They just had a visual, you know, the dogs ripping and shredding. They didn't know what. It's really a peaceful event. It's nothing. They didn't know. So that's where I learned how to hand catch rats. We caught almost 900 rats that 5 days that we worked.
Can you, because I just do a couple of shout outs to people in chat. Thanks, Jason from Pest Control for watching. Thanks, Adam Edwards, and thanks to the Pestogen ladies for tuning in. I think that is probably Jenny. Fossil toxin, he's saying. Phos toxin. Adam's saying. Phos toxin gas. He's saying.
No, let me get this here. Maybe I can. It's just carbon monoxide, like what comes out of your car. It's a lawnmower engine, so it's the same thing.
Okay.
We also use ferrets. So we've started flushing. We started flushing burrows with ferrets. My issue is a lot of time, by the time they bring us in, there's somebody had put tracking powder down, or there's been some poison pads put in the burrows. So we really can't use the ferrets when we have that. But I love using my little ferrets, and we imported them from the UK.
What you're saying? Do you mean like poison blocks? You said poison pads. What's a poison pad?
So they have these, like, they look like I don't know a lot about chemicals, I'll have to admit, because that's not my forte. But they look like dishwashing pods,
Oh, right, yeah. I get
poison pods, that they'll put out and put into things.
No, I get what you mean now. I do.
Yeah.
Now, that was the most interesting thing I listened to on podcast from Swarmcast, was when you said, I hand catched rats. Can you explain what this is? Are you actually grabbing them?
We can catch rats with our hands, or you'll step on their tail, then pick them up. Because sometimes the dogs are too busy, And
Yeah.
I hate losing a rat. Oh my Lord, I hate losing rats. So we put up barriers.
Okay.
We'll use nets, or we'll use ram board or a heavy cardboard, and we'll put barriers up in the area. So when the rats are running and the dogs are catching, a rat's clear over there, I can go catch it.
Okay.
Greg's great at catching rats. He's gotten better than I have, but yeah, we just can't catch them.
So what do you do when you catch the rats? Do you chuck them to the dogs, or do you just dispatch it there and then?
Sometimes if we catch a rat, to be honest, and the dogs are paying attention, I'll throw it down to the dogs. I like that quick, humane kill. I know we're killing rats and I know it's a rat, but I still don't want anything to suffer. I don't like the suffering. And with dogs, there's not. Or we'll put them in a big, like a trash can with a lid on it, and then we'll just euthanize them later. We'll just put them to sleep later. But usually the dogs get them all, but we just have to help them sometimes. Terriers in general like to focus like what's right in front of them, and there's rats running around them. So we jump in there and help them too.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's I never heard anyone ever say I can catch rats as well. Anywhere. On any podcast. I never heard it ever.
Yeah. Well, and see, we learned because on our way to our very first rodent job, we were told we couldn't use the dogs. And I said to my pest person, well, what do we do? She was, I don't care, figure it out. So it's like, well, I don't like to fail. So we figured it out, and we flushed them with water because we didn't have anything else to flush them with. So we flushed them with water, and we also used a leaf blower and flushed them with air. That worked to a point. It worked to a point. Nothing works as good as the dogs. Nothing.
Oh.
We can use smoke candles too. A non-toxic smoke candle with a leaf blower that puts a lot of smoke. Just smoke.
Say in the UK, it's not so many people use it now, but you can still use it. That is exactly what you can do in the drains to find the. Obviously, a full drain survey or camera is probably needed. It's the real route, but you can put the smoke, like you say, with a machine that blows it through to find all the holes. So you can.
And we've done some of that, but what we're doing with the burrows is just like doing a smoke test for the pipes. Is you're looking at where does a pipe lead? Is there a hole? So it's the same basic thing that we're doing. And we kind of have a structure where we look at education to the pest control's client. Sanitation is always a must. Once you can get the client working with the pest company with their sanitation issues, observation, exclusion, rodent dogs, trapping, and then the pest company, what will happen is once we get all that to a really low, population to where it's not detectable, now that rodenticide can work. And it'll work more effectively. Because when we're there, we're seeing rats that we know have gotten into it because they're really healthy until their hair is just gorgeous and their eyes are bright. They're gorgeous animals, right? And then rodenticide comes. Now we start seeing hair loss, a lot of itching, they'll just sit there. They don't feel good. Some of them it'll kill. Some of them won't. We're starting to see a resistance with some of this pesticide or this rodenticide. So, I think with using the dogs, doing it quick, doing it fast, stacking the pressure, I think it's just a much more effective way for everybody, for the client mostly, the pest company secondly, and we get to go have some fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's becoming a more the way the world is now. There's a lot of regulations coming in, and it's a lot more environmentally and mentally friendly to have someone with dogs. I don't have dogs, but it's becoming. You're getting more and more people try to train their dog or have a dog that's trained to try and help with help on that front. You are because
it takes a special dog to do it too. It's not every terrier that'll do it. If I get a phone call from somebody who says my dog wants to kill my cat, I want that dog. I'll take that dog. We like them to stay targeted just on what we want them to stay on. We don't hunt any other animals. We're only dealing with rodents with our dogs. We also do rodent detection. So when you get into warehouses, food production, food storage type of warehouses, we don't do abatement. I mean, that's a lot of contamination. You know, if urine is splattered or if there's blood spattered, whether it's on a dog or whether it's the dog or the rat. So we have dogs that just detect. They can find one little fecal. We train them like a bedbug dog or a drug dog. They're trained the same way. And we want them to just alert, hey, there's fecal back here. Now the pallets can be pulled out and pest company now can mass trap more effectively. We can find, we found the best hole, had to fight to get into the maintenance room. And they said there was nothing in there. And when we got in there, Bailey, she found a tiny hole underneath this big electrical box that the rats had chewed through the caulking that went, you know, between the, you know, where all the conduit was. They caught 28 mice the next day because they knew where to trap. And so, so I thought that was good.
No, I think that is good, because have you ever done it where you've found, like, say, I don't know, a big, massive rat burrows in walls before?
Oh my gosh, yes. So we showed up at this place and they said there's a lot of rats. It was a rock wall. It was a rock wall. And I was like, Karen, the rats are living in a rock wall. She goes, yeah, I know. Get them out. And I was like, oh my God. So we had to sit back and once again, we put our observation for 2 days. We found the burrows. We also found they were running under the road. It was a bad infestation. This rock wall was loaded. So there was over 3,000 rats that we took out above ground, Sean.
Wow.
We don't know what we killed. Yeah, we don't know what we killed in the wall or what we killed below ground. That was above ground. That's what the apartment complex got to see, 3,000 rats.
I'll be honest, though, if you were trying to tackle that infestation with even on a bait program, you'd seriously struggle. You'd struggle. That 3,000 rats, you say?
Well, and that's the problem is we put out our rodenticide. You know, we have a process. You put your bait out, you put your rodenticide out, and half the time it's really not in the runways. When rodents feel pressure, they hug that wall and they'll run that straight line. But when there's no pressure, they're not running those straight lines. You know, and they do like the dark, quiet areas. Most of the time it's like a tree a long ways away in the shadows. That's the runway. That's where the bait box should be. So we can find where those bait box might want to be planted, you know, more successful. But the pesticide just can't keep up with 3,000 rats. You can't keep up with the breeding.
Even if even if they were going in the boxes, you'd have to have hundreds out, wouldn't you?
Oh,
you'd have to have that many.
Hundreds.
Because imagine.
But think about this. So now that we're starting to come out with this new thing called a bulb, it's a birth control. So what if? Yes, I just listened to a podcast from India. They're starting to use it. What if you add that into your sanitation, observation, exclusion, canine, when you get down to the rodenticide. So now the canine has taken that population to ground zero, you know, it's undetectable. Now you add your bait and birth control. So now you're hitting them at both ends. That might be a good strategy. I don't know. That's going to be up to pest control people to see how that'll work. I mean, traditionally, birth control, I think traditionally it's not really worked because, you know, as soon as this population gets low, another population comes in and just keeps going and going. But I'm just curious to know if we added that to that bait box. So they were eating both. But when you work at a dumpster, you don't get a lot of them feeding off of bait boxes anyways.
Yeah, because there's too many alternative sources of food, isn't there? There is.
Oh, and they'll eat anything. They eat anything.
No, they do. It's yeah, I tell you, it's so interesting because I've never. I imagine that when you do your surveying, like checking the scope and the area out. Is that just visually with your eyes, or do you set cameras up to look at the area too?
We do. We run cameras. We're out with a thermal camera. We put in we put in stationary cameras, and then we take a lawn chair and just sit and watch.
Okay.
And that's why we knew they were running under the road, because we found a hole that they were coming up from the rock wall and then sliding under the road, and you just see rat, rat, rat. And that road started to sag. And we told them, and then we blew the Burrow RX, and the smoke went from one side of the road to the other and came up. They dug all the way under that road.
They damaged the road. They damaged the road then.
Oh, it was awful. It collapsed more than half of that road to that apartment complex.
Goodness.
The garbage area, this beautiful rock wall collapsed. It was starting to collapse. You could see a 4-inch difference because of all the excavating underground that the rodents were doing. It took about 2 months, and we got that down. And now their pest control is working, and I think they've got the road fixed. But I think that's why Canine really makes a difference. It's not something the rats are used to. They're quick, they're humane, and I mean, it's nothing for us to go in there. It's really nothing for anyone if the rats are there, but they have a canine program. If you can get the rats out, the dogs will kill them.
Yes. It is interesting, I tell you. It's I reckon this episode could be quite popular because it is a. So here's a question for you. I know there's a lot of I don't know what dogs do what, but I always hear a lot of the people that are into ratting. They always go, "What's the best dog?" And they always have this joke: the terriers and what's the other one? What are the dog breeds that do ratting the best?
I've got a golden retriever that's really, really good at ratting.
Really?
So it's really.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the prey drive of the dog. So I've got a little tiny jag dog that she likes being out there, but she doesn't really want to rat. She'll rat here at the farm all day long. But when we get into big infestation, so I just think any dog, honestly, terriers are bred for this. Terriers have an instinctual drive to do this, but anything with high prey drive. When you hear my dog wants to kill my cat, that's probably a really good ratter. We use terriers, spaniels, ferrets, and I got a couple mutts back there. I have a lurcher too. I really like my lurcher. He kind of just stands back. He's the hippie. He just stands back in the background and waits. And when a rat gets away from the other ones, he grabs it.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask because I can't think of the breed that they say in the UK. There's like 2 dogs, and like they always laugh saying one versus the other. Which one's the best? I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But Jason
we've got a dachshund that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rats are as big as the dachshund.
What's a dachshund?
A little wiener dog, a little tiny dog.
Really?
Yeah, he's great on rats.
That's good. And Jason in chats just said he's had a lot of cannibalistic rats this year.
We've seen that this year.
I've seen it on the trap because we had a trap down and it's a black cat traps. I don't know if you have them. We call them black cats. If you got your fingers in, you might break them if you get it off. But and it was only the mouth that was left. So they will eat each other.
They do. And I actually ordered a case of those black cat traps. I love them. I'm more worried about breaking my hand with them, but they're.
But to be fair, I'm not scared of them compared to what they call the Fen Mark 4, which is meant for obviously squirrels, but you can use them for rats too. Now, that trap, that is when you learn how to use it, you can hurt yourself.
Wow.
Well, at least with a black cat, there's a lot of safety in it. There is. Whereas with this one, you physically got to pull it and get it in place and lift it. I'm still new to that one, but
when he brought up the cannibalization, so we had a waste management place that had a lot of obviously sanitation issues. So the rats were crazy, and they're always bringing new rats in. So once they got that sanitation cleaned up, I mean, it was picture perfect. The rats were crazy. You could literally throw a glue board across the rat, frisbee it on the ground with a piece of dog food on it. A rat would hit it and another rat would hit that rat to try to eat that rat.
Wow.
Oh, it was terrible. I ran because I saw a rat stuck in a trap. We couldn't use the dogs because somebody put tracking powder out, so the dogs couldn't come out. So it was just us. We had 7 traps and 3 glue boards in our hands. And I had a trap that the rat was caught on. I ran to get it. I reached down and picked it up, and a rat came out, and I was like tug-of-warring with this rat for this other rat. I was like, I didn't have that on video. But we've been seeing that too, especially when sanitation is cleaned up. You remove their food, you exclude them.
Yeah.
They're going to turn on each other. And that's why it's so important when we get these high colonies, when these colonies reach max capacity, that you find the satellite colonies and you find the maternal colony where those females have taken those young, or the pregnant females have gone to get away from those males because they'll cannibalize those babies. So we really focus on finding that. We usually find it under the dumpster because they can just go right up into the dumpster and feed and right back up and down.
I'll tell you one thing. I would really love to know why I don't know if it's the same in America, but the companies that make these trash bins, whatever, the wheelie bins, the big ones, why do they use plastic bungs?
Oh,
they all have plastic bungs to do. It's crazy.
They're terrible. And here you can get animal-proof ones, but they still have drain holes in the bottom. And when we stick our thermal camera down, you just see rats go up in the dumpster and down, up in the dump. They go right to those drain holes and come right back down. So
you mentioned something there. Have you been paying attention to the UK? You mentioned the word glue board.
Oh, you guys can't use those anymore, can you?
There is a license. However, you've got to be trained to RSPH level 2 award in pest management. You've got to do the latest glue trap course, and you've also got to apply for a license for a government department and pay for it. It's not cheap. So basically, it's an effective ban. No, but from what I understand, hardly anyone uses them. Not worth it.
Is it because we watch ours. I don't like something to lay there and suffer on it. So
it's more to do with non-targets.
Okay.
The claim was that non-targets were getting on them, but this way the public are still buying them.
well, that's just it. They sell them here at Home Depot and other stores, but
they've been marking them up as something else.
No,
they're insect boards, but they're rat boards. They just changed the name.
We have them for snake boards. They call them snake boards too. Pest control companies here don't put those outside. They're only used inside. So there are rules and regulations how you can use them to prevent a non-targeted species getting on them. So mostly just in enclosed buildings, along with a lot of the other stronger rodenticides. Only certain places they can use them. I'm studying right now. I have such a great deal of respect for the pest community for my operator's license. I don't want to be full pest control. I'm going to stay in my wheelhouse, but I want to understand it better. I want to understand the labels. I want to understand the compounds. I want to understand all of that.
I'll be honest, you've got a great sense of knowledge about rats anyway. The stuff you've been saying, without piece of paper means nothing with the knowledge that you've got. I'll be honest. And Jason just wrote that license costs £535 plus the VAT.
Oh my gosh!
So basically, and he's come up with the dog I was looking for, a Patterdale.
And we've got a couple Patterdales. So
because it was going terriers versus the Patterdales, and on the other podcast they had they've had some ratting people on the Beauties and Beasties. I don't know if you ever watched it, and they have a laugh. And they have a laugh about that, about the different breed of dogs and which one's useless and which one's not. But by the sounds of it, you would say it's down to the person training the dog and picking the right dog.
It's picking the right dog. I mean, seriously, picking the right dog. I've got dogs back here that, and our dogs are our family. Wyatt asked me on the podcast, what gets you up in the morning? What gets Kim Camera up in the morning? I was like, 22 dogs that want to pee. So I've got, so we have 22 dogs. We put in a really nice kennel, indoor, outdoor. These are our kids.
Yeah.
They rotate in and out of the house all the time. I've got dogs I can hear. I don't know if anyone can hear them barking. They're out playing. We've got about 14 acres all fenced in for them.
Nice, that is.
So they're family. You know, they work with us, they live with us, they sleep with us, and they travel with us. So.
No, it's nice that you treat your animals, because they'll be honest, they're your family and your bread and butter. That's how you earn your money. It is. So
I got a couple freeloaders. I got a couple Chihuahuas that are freeloaders. All they do is bark.
Okay. So with dogs and training them to be, for rats or whatever, what do you do to actually train them to actually become? How does that work? How do you actually train a dog to become, say a rat dog? For rat? How does that work then?
Well, I'm sure you UK boys will laugh at me because I'm a little sissy when it comes to it. So I like to get my dogs as a puppy, and then I can blend them in with the pack, and I really want to make sure their environmentals are strong. They're okay with sounds, because we hunt a lot of cities. We hunt along streets. Okay. I want to teach them a really strong obedience. I want to be able to call them when they're chasing that rat and they come back to me, and everybody does. I don't use e-collar. I just call them, and they'll turn around and come back and growl at me. So we start them as they're little. We work through the environmentals. We teach them obedience. And at 6 months, depending on the dog, I'll let them I'll put them with a live rat. Until then, they're finding odor. We have a competition in the United States called Barn Hunt. And it's where pet dogs go find rats, and they're in tubes, and they get points, and they win ribbons. And all my puppies do that. They get used to people, they get used to dogs, they get used to hunting, and they get used to using their nose. In about 6 months, then I'll use a domestic rat. And that's the hard part, because I like domestic rats. So rats are so intelligent. How can you not have respect for that? They are problem solving and intelligent, and they stick up for their family and communities. So I'm kind of conflicted sometimes. So we'll do maybe a 3 to 6 month old rat with a dog. We don't know to do it. Those big Norway rats, they get a hold of a dog, and if the dog, because the dog doesn't know how to catch a rat right away, they want to grab it from the back, and the rat spins and bite them. So they need to learn to catch it by the neck and shake it and be done with it. Drop it and move on. So we work on that really hard. I don't like my dogs to get bit, and I try to prepare them for that before we go out into the real world with those big Norways. Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. Is there any? Do you have to take them to the vets to have regular vaccines because they're working with disease-ridden rats? Is there anything you have to do?
We do. They're constantly checked for parasites too, because rats spread lungworm, and it's fascinating how it spreads. So if anybody is listening that likes to eat like escargot, wash it. Wash anything out of the grocery store. Wash, because the snail has to basically collect the fecal or run across the fecal, and then the rat lungworm is spread that way, and that'll go right to your brain. So we're really careful with that. We're careful with all the parasites. If a dog gets bit, if it's a bad bite, they're taken out right away. It's cleaned up. We check it out. But after every single day, after every job, they're decontaminated. We bathe them before we even take them back to the hotel or wherever we're staying. But yeah, they're fully vaccinated. Lepto is a big thing for rodents. So we give an extra lepto booster. That's why we kind of got away from flushing these burrows with water. Because if you think about it, there's all the urine in the burrow, all the fecal in the burrow, and we're just moving it out into water. And I about died when I saw one of my dogs drinking. Like, no.
Oh no.
Yeah. So live and learn with some of this stuff, but we just have great dogs, healthy dogs. Our dogs live old age. So yeah, I love what I do.
No, I can tell it's definitely a passion. It is
I
for
really
you.
I'd like to encourage everybody to just try observation before they jump into anything, and the issue with pest control, it's hard to take that time because you've got to go to the next job, and then you go to the next job. And here, some of them are paid on commission. So pest technicians, I just think, do an amazing job. And so I don't think they're given the time to do even a better job. So observation is really the key. We would never, ever have figured out we were missing populations if we didn't have that count of 675 rodents and all 87% male. It was the biggest aha moment ever. And that's now we count every rat we kill, we count them. We start looking for satellites. We start looking for the maternity nest right away.
See, even that, if the stuff you're talking about here, the average pest controller wouldn't know about different. Most people just say, yeah, they're in the burrow, that's where they live, and that's it. Now you're talking about nurseries, maternity, all different facets. I'm telling you now.
And we didn't know until that aha moment, because we were going in and just, cowboying it, getting the dogs out, flushing rats, killing rats, and bagging them and throwing them away. But we just weren't taking care of the colony like we thought we should. We were still seeing rats 3 months later, even though we were killing a lot. So with this system, we can go in. I mean, I would love to show anybody and walk you through it. You can go in 7 to 10 days, take the colony to a non-detectable level of Norway rats. Roof rats are tools of the devil. Norway rats. Do your follow-up.
So you have. So you're saying you have black rats as well?
Yeah, they're terrible to deal with.
It's not a common thing in the UK. Very rare. It's Norway rats, but they do still like roofs. They like to go in attic spaces still, but it's very rare. Very rare. And it's mainly Norway's here. It is.
Well, I want to come over and rat over there. I want to so bad come over there and watch some people work their ferrets and work their rats and just have some fun. I've been watching UK people forever. And
well, there is some good people there. There's some people. They're probably. Been watching Stuart Blair's videos more, but I didn't know he had a YouTube channel till recently.
Mm-hmm.
And
Stuart Blair, I started watching before he had a YouTube channel with his thermals. It was he helped me get my gun. He won't remember that because so many people talk to him, but I talked to about thermals and air guns. We do a lot of air gun work when we get into places that we can't use the dogs. So we'll use air gun and thermals.
He's not been on yet. I'll try and get him on next year. I will see if I can get him on.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
But there is people in the UK that do. I don't know who, but there is people that do use ferrets. I've heard of people. I just can't name them offhand. I can't.
I don't think there's a lot that rat with them. A lot of rabbiting ferrets. The issue with ferrets with these big Norways is a big Norway will crush a ferret's head. And I don't want to lose my ferrets.
No, you don't. No.
So I get so attached to them. I'm like, oh no, we're not running them today, or oh nope, it's not perfect. Usually about that third day when we've taken down a lot of the adult males, that's what we're killing primarily at first. I'll run them because they'll run on the juveniles and the subadults, and they'll move those mamas out. So, but it's I think you just have to stand back, watch, and say, how am I going to handle this? The dogs are not the only tool. The dogs are the biggest tool we have.
Yeah.
But you've got to really immerse yourself into it and look at what type of barriers you can use. Always put your barriers up when you're going to go chase rodents, because otherwise they know where they're going so freaking fast you won't catch them. That rock wall we were talking about, we wrapped that rock wall with shrink wrap. And then we left 2 places where they knew they were coming in and out of. We left it unwrapped and we gassed it. And I think it was over 600 rats came out of that wall. If I remember right, I'd have to go look back at the data.
That's crazy.
And the dogs caught every one of them.
That is absolutely crazy. That is. Jason's asked, do you do any shooting with air rifles at all?
We do, Jason. We use the FX. We have an FX, and then we have a thermal scope. So for rodents, we shoot during the day. We've got a little. It's a 22. It's a 22. So that's. And we do a lot of waste management areas that we'll go in and shoot. It's safe to shoot in there. Apartment complexes, not so much, because
No.
Yeah. No shooting in apartment complex.
Oh, put it this way, I know what America's like. You probably have the firing squad out. Someone shooting.
Well, I had to find a way to take the thermal off of the gun, because I was using the thermal at night for observation, but I'm sitting there like this at the dumpster with something that looks like an AKR-40, whatever that gun is there. So we now have it on a tripod. It's a little more peaceful looking.
Oh, nice. They just thought I'd ask it. But no, I imagine some of the waste sites you do, because I've heard that a lot of the time the waste site rats know when the workers are going home, because when they go home, the rats start coming. And apparently, I've heard. I went to price up a site. I didn't get it, but they said to me, he says the floor. What do you mean? He says to me the floor moves. He says, when the workers go home, they know. You can hear them coming. Oh, yeah. He says the place comes alive. It does.
I mean, some of those videos that Stuart puts up, they're at garbage places. It's just unbelievable. And we find them in the back of the trucks, the trash compactor trucks that they don't get emptied. They'll be full of rodents in there eating. So sanitation is number one of these rodent issues. That's where we're going to have our issue. You get rid of the food, you get rid of the water, you exclude them out, we can start handling it a little better. But I think I'm missing the big thing down in Florida this week, because we have so much going on. Pest World.
Oh, Pest World. I seen it earlier. There was a video, the opening ceremony, cutting the tape or whatever.
And Dr. Quinn is going to be there, and she's speaking on rodenticide and resistance, and I really wanted to hear that talk, so I'm hoping it's on a video somewhere down the line. But I think that is a big issue, because we see it all the time.
But we've obviously got resistance in the UK, but it's depending on different areas. But you're talking about escars, aren't you? You're talking about the first or second generations. Mm-hmm. They are important to have them, because although you've got calicalciferol, which is like cilantro. You've got cilantro, haven't you? Now that doesn't have secondary poisoning, so it's safer as such. But you've also got to be careful, because if you use that in a setting where somebody has got pets, mm-hmm. there's a high risk. Not of that, but you don't know if an animal. A rat's going to drop any of that bait, and it's a direct poisoning. So you've got to be. It's all about risk management, isn't it? You still need to have escars, but I understand why people are worried about them. But if you had no escars at all, you'd be in a world of hurt. I know you've got your dogs. I know you've got your dogs, and you've got other things, but people don't realise how the prices will go up for pest control a lot. It would.
Oh, I agree. And I think if we have, in your IPM,
you just got to have a balance and the whole system. You have in your toolkit. Yeah.
But I think if we have, take your IPM and add a really strong pest risk management. Now I think we've got someplace, but I think the risk management is overlooked sometimes, and we just go right into boom. Yeah. So I think the risk management needs to be a top priority in the IPM. And the more I'm talking to people, the more I'm convinced that needs to be a top priority.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously different in America. You have to do your licenses every 5 years or something.
Every 5.
See, in England, you don't have to. Once you've done your qualification, your qualifications, you're set.
Wow.
So, but they've now brought in a thing as of next year that you now have to either redo your courses every 5 years. And now we're talking about a 1-day course here, okay? Right? Or if you're a member of a trade body or a continuous professional development provider where you do educational hours, and as long as you do 20 hours a year plus 3 of the crew ones they want you to do, you have to produce a crew certificate from next year. Well, starting January,
wow.
to use the bait, but it's still not. It's nothing on America's level. It's not. But yeah, MPTA trade body. I'm obviously part of that, the National Pest Technicians Association. I'm a member and I'm on the board of directors for that as well. So, but there is other trade bodies as well, and there is.
But you guys, what I've been looking at is you guys have a lot of education, a lot. I mean, don't you? With your pest organization, sponsor a lot of different education. It just seems like you have a lot of different education, hands-on education going on.
Yeah, we do. You don't. I'm just pointing out how we do it, but yeah, there is a lot. I'm just saying a lot of people in general just get the one. See, I did my basics a few years ago. Then I went on to do the higher one, which is the RSPH. So I'll tell you that Royal Society of Public Health, basically.
Okay.
In pest management, level 2 award, and a lot of people stay at that. But we all do training throughout the year. There's seminars you can watch online. There's quiz books. There's magazines you can read. This podcast is CPD approved. This one will earn people CPD for listening. So yeah, you can do podcasts too. But yeah, we're very education driven. I mean, I'm at 71 points for this year. You only need 20.
I look at your classes that you offer, and I'm like, wow, because they're all a lot of them all hands on, and I just love that. So I think the UK is doing a good job. I do, from everything I'm seeing, but I'm not on the inside.
Oh no, there's a whole new system coming out soon. There's going to be a restructure of stuff, but it will take a lot of years to actually implement and agree on, etc.
And we were talking about the Burrow RX, if you would ever want me to demo that on how that works when I'm actually at a site, I could send you a video to that if anyone. I don't know if that's something you can use over there.
I'd have to have a look, but I don't know.
It's CO2. Know. Well, and I've seen people over there. I've seen people over there. Huh?
CO2, is it?
Yeah, it's CO2.
So it's not a gas then?
No, it's CO2. It's just what comes out of the back of your car.
I think we can do that.
Yeah. It's a little lawnmower, and it's CO2. It self-targets. It's a non-rodenticide method. It kills really quick underground. There's no residual or secondary poisoning.
I'll look into it, and it probably is. But have you seen videos from the UK of people doing it?
Not with the Burrow RX, but they've self-made them. They will take like a little gas engine for like a weed whipper, a trimmer, and they'll turn that, and they'll just revamp it, and they'll put a hose on it, and they'll stick that down into the hole, and it flushes. They come out so freaking fast. You've got to get the rodents out of the burrows, otherwise, why are you there? We have to. We got to get them out of the burrows, and I think water's too dangerous for the dogs. My dogs know a lot of obedience. So like when we start blowing the Burrow RX, if I say back up, they back up. If I say go to the left, they go to the left. I want them to stay out of the gas.
That's good. That it's no. Jason's just said use a chainsaw.
I like a chainsaw.
But he's the one that made a video on. He did make a video on where you put the fog through the drain. And he had a machine pumping it through. So in the house, you could see where all the the areas that they were coming up
Oh, the
coming up
smoke,
were.
the
Yeah.
smoke test with the drain. Have you
He
guys
means the motor, not the actual chainsaw bit. He meant the
have you
motor.
have you guys seen the assassin, the pipe assassin, the sewer assassin? Have you seen that?
It's like a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's just a
I love.
cap that goes on your sewer outtake of your pipes, you know, like where the rodents could come up to it, and they come up and it's a trap. It's awesome.
Oh,
It's awesome. And it works in the pipe. I'm going to try it.
so assassin sounds like something that wouldn't be allowed here, but I'll have a look.
Yeah,
I
go
will.
look at sewer assassin.
I will. I will. It's a lot of things that you lot have got that we're not allowed. We're getting apprehend soon at some point in the next couple of years.
Oh, I like now with apprehend, what, you know, again, I'm not a pest control, you know, with the chemicals, but we do bug inspections.
Do.
As long as it's stored appropriately, it works great. But
Yeah.
if it's not, it kills it. It'll kill the fungus. But I love it. I like it's safe for my dogs to search around. It dries quickly. It kills for 90 days. I like that. And it's really not a chemical.
It's going for approval, but I've heard rumours that obviously the argument was that they were treating it as a chemical, but it's not a chemical.
No, it's a fungus.
So they reckon it's about 2 years away, but they reckon it may be sooner. But that might not be true because they're fighting the fact that it's not a chemical.
Oh wow! Well, it's an active fungus. I don't know what they would call a chemical. I'm not in that pest world, but I know it's an active fungus. So.
Yeah, it'd be good when it finally comes out. But do you do a lot of bed bug detection work then with the dogs?
We do. We've got 7 bed bug dogs, and they're out all the time. My husband's leaving tonight for 3 days to go to a camp to search for bed bugs, and they're at all different levels. I've got one dog who's so freaking good. He can find one flipping egg.
Yeah.
And my dog's like, yeah, there's nothing here, but she missed that one egg. So.
Oh, okay.
So her level of her odor level is not as low as his dog. But we have five people that work. Everybody has their own dog, but I send everybody out the door with 2 dogs.
Okay.
So I don't like to overwork a dog. And if you have 100 apartments, every dog does 20 and they go home happy. And we'll rotate them out. And that way they're always searching, always having fun. I just don't want to burn them out.
How long can they work for the nose how long can they work for this? Or is that a sniffer dog? Is that different?
Yeah, no, it's just like a sniffer dog. I mean, they're trained the same way. So it just depends. If we're doing warehouses, they last about 2 hours, where they're really hunting and they haven't slowed down and stopped and pretending and all that stuff. About 2 hours for a big warehouse. Apartments, I like to swap them out at 20 apartments. And then put them back in their crates, let them rest, and then if we have to, we'll rotate through them again. They're excited when they first start.
Yeah.
Younger dogs, they don't pace themselves, so they wear out a lot faster. So by the time they get to be about 3, they're kind of getting their groove on and their pace, and they take their time more. Yeah.
No, that's good. Just thought I'll ask that one. It's obviously it depends. Do you get quite high temperatures where you live? Do you?
I hate it here.
I mean, obviously that affects how long the dog can work. Does it? The heat or?
It does, and we work for bed bugs. We work a lot of low income senior living, and a lot of them are on blood thinners, and their apartments are so hot, so that'll affect how long the dog can work. And rodent work is brutal in the summer. So, we run our van nonstop. We've got air conditioning on it. So we'll rotate those dogs about every 30, 40 minutes. Or sooner if we see the dogs getting in distress. If they're just standing there with their tongue open, it's time because they won't quit on their own. They're too high drive. You got to make them quit.
Okay. But yeah, it's all interesting stuff, I tell you.
I wish I would have gotten into this 30 years ago. This is, I like taking my wildlife background and moving it into pest control. and I'm learning more and more about the pest control industry every day. And pest control is your first line of defense for a healthy environment, whether it's
It is.
commercial or residential. It's the first line of defense. So,
See, there's a different mentality in the UK to what in America. A lot. I'm not saying it in your state, like or whatever. I don't know, but I know in America it's normal to have a pest control contractor on a regular service. It is not normal here. We've got a few. We've got a few, and these are people that have requested it, but it's not a thing that people go. Put it this way: if you went door to door in this country, for pest control, you'd probably get a slap.
Oh,
you
wow.
would, because people would think, "Oh, you say I'm dirty."
And that's how people start here, door knocking. Door knocking is a big thing here.
It's different if you can see someone's actually got a wasp nest and it's affecting the neighbour. Then we normally tell them to speak to the neighbour. I don't really like doing that. It's not, but door knocking is not a thing for, especially for pest control in England. It's not a thing.
Wow.
It's not. You probably get a slap.
And we're getting more and more into commercial. We started in commercial. I don't know how, but we started in commercial, and we're getting more and more for the rodent dogs into food warehouses and food storage and food production.
Well, it's good. It also hits their not saying they have them, but it hits an eco target too. I don't know if they have them, but maybe they have. And a lot of these big food manufacturing places have targets on being more eco-friendly, don't they? I might be wrong, but a lot of them seem to have a lot of sustainability and eco policies now, don't they? Dogs would fit right into that.
They do. We had one job that we had to put the dogs in hairnets. That was a trip.
Did you take photos?
Yeah, they had to be all in hairnets, and you had to buy like a show dog hairnet. And my dogs looked at me like they were going to kill me. I was like, I know why animals kill people now, because we do this to them. But they got used to it pretty quick. Something too that you guys could consider doing that we just started doing when we go into these warehouses and we're seeing all this rodent. We have one where just mice are insane because they're coming in from the tractor trailers. So we just brought in a system that you guys could use. I don't know why you couldn't. It's an air sampling system, and we brought it in from France, and we're learning to use it. We're training our dogs on it. I'm actually meeting with Gregory Heron, who's the researcher from France, next week. He's coming here.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can take this system and you can suck in air for 3 minutes in 250 square feet in a tractor trailer. Take it back, let your dogs inspect it. So your dogs don't have to go into a sensitive area. So, and these tractor trailers, they can never fit in anyways. And the tractor trailers are usually what's bringing the mice and the rodents in to the warehouse. And then they split off. Now you got your resident population living there that you've got to find. That's come in from the tractor trailers. So we're going to see if this system will help. And
so what does that do? Suck in the air. What does that do?
It's a special system, and there's a tube. There's a special tube called the Gentex tube inside it, and it'll collect the air into that tube. All the odors in that room will be in that tube, just like if the dog went into the tractor trailer to smell. He's going to smell. And dogs smell in layers. So they smell like the spaghetti. They smell the meatball, the sauce, the noodles, the plate. They smell in layers, not just one big odor. So that dog will dissect that tube, and he will find that rodent odor if there's rodents in the tractor trailer. And then he'll give an alert, just like a bed bug. We're training it just like bed bug dogs. So I'm tickled that Gregory's coming here. I said, I'm not putting this on the market until you come here and make sure we're doing this right. So, and then we're going to use it for the food warehouses.
So what you're saying is it will be able to detect if each warehouse has got rats in it, or rats have been in there. Is that what it's saying? Is that what you're saying?
It'll be able to detect live rodents in the back of a tractor trailer, because I'm only training the dog on live rodents. I'm not training them on fecal, on urine. This is specifically for the tractor trailers. But if you could take it to a pallet area and do an inspection. Take your air sample, take it back, run your can line, and if there was a rodent, a mouse, or a rat in there, the dog would find it. He would alert on that can that had that tube in it, so we would know where to go back. and search,
Yeah.
or the pest company would search. This will be really good for sensitive areas or areas that don't want the dogs in the actual warehouse part, but yet we can be set up in an office somewhere off on the side and help them out. And we're also
Okay.
we're also cleaning. We're getting
Yeah.
into these warehouses and we're cleaning up. We're taking the boxes apart. We're pulling mice nest out of boxes left and right. We're sanitizing, restacking the product, and moving on. So we're
Okay.
taking it just one more level.
Okay. That's good. Do you do lots of subcontracting for big national companies as well? Do you do a lot of that as well? Yeah.
We do. We do. That's mostly where our work comes from, is the big
Okay.
national companies, whether it is through a pest company or whether it's through ourselves. So we hold several national contracts right now. So
Nice.
which we just got. So I'm really tickled about that.
Good. Good. I won't ask you for names, obviously, but
Yeah,
that's nice. That
I
is.
can't give names, but they're big.
I wouldn't ask you, and I won't put you in that. But no, that's nice. That is.
It is. We're moving slow. I mean, we've been doing this for 4 years. So we started our bed bug company right before COVID hit. And then COVID hit. And then I said, well, let's just train. So we trained until the world opened back up. I went out with pest companies and learned my job because I think it's important we know our jobs, and then mix it with the dogs. And the rodent work was started almost 3 years ago. So we're growing in it and just learning every day. And podcasts like yours it's valuable for us to sit back and listen to and get ideas and get answers. And it's been nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, we do have a lot of people from America listen too, so they could. You never know. Someone might reach out to you and say, "I heard you on the podcast. I think I could do with your help." You never know, do you?
I hope so, because we're a service. I mean, it's a free service to a pest company, and the whole goal is to stop this client bounce. The clients get fed up with this pest company, so they move to another pest company. But then the problem doesn't get solved because they want quick answers. Here in the U.S., everything's fast food society. It's quick, 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 and pest control is not quick. It takes days for most pest control. So if we can get in there, eliminate that infestation quickly, then the pest company wins and the client, most importantly, wins.
All right, that's definitely true. That is, it's a good message. But no, thanks for coming on. It's been really fun to have you on the show, and I'm sure a lot of people have learnt a lot. I definitely have, and I'm sure there's been quite a few people in chat, and there'll be more after the fact. But I think it was a really good podcast. I do.
Well, Sean, I was tickled to death you invited me, and anyone can reach out because I learn from everybody that I've talked to. So, please feel free to give my email or even my number out.
Yeah, no, the link is in the description. Oh, it will be. It should be now, actually. So have you got anyone you'd like to see on the podcast?
Well, I think you should drill Wyatt on the podcast. I think that would be fun.
Okay, I can sort that out, hopefully.
I think Stuart would be wonderful on the podcast. I mean, he is so well versed in all these issues. He could help everybody out with their air guns, their thermal scopes. I think he'd be excellent to have on the podcast.
There we go.
How about Jorge? Jorge is wonderful with cockroaches. If you want to do, I mean, he's phenomenal. He's up in New York.
I mean, George.
Yes.
He's been on.
Oh, has he? Isn't he wonderful?
Yeah. He's a good guy.
I love him.
I know, because Marcus had Marcus Scruggs on the other day, and he went, Jorge. I said, who's Jorge? He said, you mean George? Yeah, I said, yeah. I said, yeah, he's been on. I was like,
I love him. He has been, and there's a guy in, this is a neat angle. So Warren Ryan.
I've been meaning to get him on. I have been meaning to.
He's wonderful, and I've had a lot of conversations with him. So he's went into the consulting business. So he is the liaison between the pest company and the commercial organization. So that is such a neat thing to hear about, that walking that tightrope. but that's his job, is to bring them together to, solve the issue. So he's just a really giving person too.
I'm starting to book for next year already. You laugh at that, but I'm booked up for the rest of the year. So I'm going to start to. I like to be ahead. I don't like to go, like a month. Oh, there's 2 weeks. I haven't got no one on. I like to book really, real ahead. So I've got. I was meant to get Ryan on, but I will get him on. So I will try and get Stuart Blair on. I will. I'm sure he'll come on. I'll say I've had a request. Here's the clip. Here's the clip. But no, that's some great ones. I might also try and get at some point on the guy called the Mink Man. I'll try and get him on.
Oh,
I will.
Joseph. So Joseph's a friend of mine.
Is it?
And he's the one that taught me how to hand catch rats. I did a farm with him way up in Nevada, right next to the Canadian border. There was a moose in the field, and we took a lot of rats out of that ranch, and that's where he taught me how to catch rats.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's a bit of a celebrity. He's got a massive channel. Yeah, hopefully you can get him on. Also, I don't know if you heard of him. I want to get the Hornet King on. I have emailed him, but no reply. Yeah.
He's hard to reach. I would just text him. I'll actually send you his number.
But no, I'll probably try for next year. I did try, but maybe it probably went to the spam folder. I'll try for next year. I will. But yeah, no, thanks for coming on. It's been good to have you on, Kimberly.
Thank you so much.
It has. So at the end of this show, I'm going to play an advert. I don't normally do. I'm not getting paid for this. It's the Pest. Have you ever watched the Pestogen podcast? The girls at Pestogen, Candice and Jenny.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a female pest control podcast.
Yeah.
Just before the end, I'm just going to play this advert, but then I'll do the buy. Is that all right? I'll just play it. I will.
Oh
okay.
My girl, my back has been bugging me so much lately, it just won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Just kidding. Sounds like a real pain.
It's been a real pain lately, trying to find anything relatable to listen to while I'm working.
Girl, I got the answer for this one. Pestrogen Podcast. It's a pest control podcast, but with a lady twist. It's fun, laughable, and will make you say, yep, get that.
That sounds so awesome. So, where can I find this at?
Anywhere. We got the YouTube, anywhere where you get your usual podcasts, and they have a Facebook page for ladies in the pest industry only.
Sold!
You can catch the Pestrogen Podcast videocast exclusively on YouTube and listen to the audio version on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, or wherever your favorite podcasts are currently crawling around. Pestrogen Podcast, because when it comes to pests and podcasts, we know how to bug you just right.
There we go.
My back has been bugging.
There we go. First time I ever played an advert. But yeah, no, thanks for coming on. You want to check that podcast out if you want. It's more of not educational. It's more of from the technician side and a female perspective. But they do talk about men. It's not women only. It's a fun one. But yeah, thanks for coming on. And it's been a good,
so much
been a good,
for inviting me.
been a good one. So I'll end the stream now. And thanks for taking your time to come on. And it's been good. So
yeah, I've enjoyed it.
All right, and thank you for that.